Can you state your full name for me?
Sylvia Tumasimi.
Tumasimi. Okay. Miss Tumasimi, your attorney, Justin Hill, is here, and I'm going to talk to him about your case, but you'll be able to hear it there, okay? And let me just tell you what the charges are. The first charge is criminal trespass, and the second charge is stalking.
So there you have it, guys. That is infamous Sylvia. She actually had a court date today for bond, and she was granted a bond. So whether or not she has been released yet, I'm not sure, but it happened earlier in the day, so she should have been able to get out, I guess, by 5 p.m. or so. But you guys, we'll talk a little bit more about this case and some other things because, as usual, social media is still popping. So before we get started, y'all already know what to do. Please be sure to hit that like and subscribe and your notification bell if you're not a subscriber already, okay? Also, share the video because that's how others find me here on YouTube. You can follow me on all platforms at DYANAROZAY, and I appreciate every single one of you guys for rocking with me. So let's get it started, y'all. Again, this is infamous Sylvia. I spoke about her on the last video. A lot of you were saying that you thought she was already granted bond, but according to this video, it happened today. So we'll listen to a little bit more of it, and then I just want to hear you guys' thoughts. It sounds like things are going to be okay for her, though. It is misdemeanor charges, but let's listen to the rest.
Both misdemeanors. And Mr. Hill, is there something you want to tell me on the issue of bond?
Yes, Your Honor. I would just like to inform you. So Ms. Tumasimi has been a Georgia resident for 22 years. Her daughter lives in Georgia with her as well. She has no criminal history. There's no risk of her committing any felonies or crimes while out on bond. She is currently employed. She's a journalist. She covers high-profile cases across the nation. So she's gainfully employed. There's no risk of her intimidating any witnesses or the victim in this case. She has adamantly expressed to me that she wants nothing to do with the alleged victim in this case. So I would respectfully ask the Honorable Court to grant her a signature bond. If the court is not inclined to do that, I would express that bond in the amount of no greater than $1,500 is appropriate. But I would respectfully ask the court to grant Ms. Tumasimi a signature bond.
So I believe that a signature bond means that you can just sign and be released on your own recognizance, as opposed to paying any type of fee. And she has been there since February 9th. So today is the 21st. Just an FYI.
Okay. And on the signature bond issue, I don't have the authority. Our presiding judge and chief judge do. I evaluated the cases early in the morning to kind of see who I think may qualify, and this was not one that I pulled out to look at for them to look at for a possible signature bond. I do. Since there's two charges on this, I am gonna go pretty low here on each charge. I'm gonna do $1,500 on each charge. So $1,500 on the criminal trespass and then $1,500 on the stalking. So a total bond of $3,000, and that includes a special condition that she has to have no contact with the alleged victim, Daintez Jackson. Here, and would you all like a preliminary hearing in the case?
We'll waive, Your Honor.
Waive, okay, all right. And so they'll have a waiver form, and if your client can sign that, they'll have it there over at the jail. So if your client can sign the waiver form, they'll send that over to me this morning to also sign. And indicate that here. And I think that will take care of everything this morning. Do you have anything further, Mr. Hill?
No, Your Honor.
Okay. All right. And so, Ms. Tumasimi, the deputies there will have a waiver form for you to sign, waiving the preliminary hearing, and then I'll take care of that this morning as well. So, okay. All right. Thank you both.
Okay. So basically, the judge said that he did not believe her charges were eligible for a signature bond, and then gave her a $1,500 charge on each. But yeah, I'm happy to hear that she is out because that's a long time to stay in jail. Yesterday was her birthday, I believe. So she was in there for quite a while. Either way, y'all can talk to me in the comments because I know a lot of people were discussing that. A lot of you shared information with me. This case is still going, but I'm going to keep you guys abreast of it, as well as any other things that is going on YouTube in regards to court cases and charges, because there is a lot going on. Okay, now let's move into this next story, y'all, because I'm going to start with Melody Sheree. Melody Sheree has some things going on, you guys. Number one, y'all know that she has her new TV show. It's dropping on Friday night. It's called Shanita's World. And she had Miss Shanita on her IG channel earlier today, and they discussed things. Okay, it was really cool. She also made a post. Let me take this thing down. She also made a post where she was letting people know that she's going to do a 3-part series on Nubian, her new network, and it's going to be called a Millimeter Special. So she's going to get into the knit and grit of what the millimeters are about, and y'all can read it right there. Okay, it sounds like shots are being fired. Melody said, "Seems like we are the topic of everybody's conversation. So if interested, email support@millimeters.com. Give your full legal name, social media account name, and your history as a millimeter. Only 10 people will be selected to be a part of this documentary." I thought that was interesting. I mean, interesting. I know she said she was going to do it. It's just cool to see that everything is, rocking and taking place. But that's not it, y'all. There's more. There's more. Now, y'all remember the other day, I had told y'all what that hashtag meant, FAFO, F around and find out. A lot of people were in my comments saying that's the first time I ever heard of that. I've never heard of anyone say FAFO before, but she was clearly upset at something or somebody. She had made the post. "I've been moving on some stuff the true Scorpio way, but if for one moment any lame thinks my silence is me waving the white flag, baby, I've been over here seeing nothing but red." Now, look at what she posted today, because this is definitely shots fired. She said, "Did y'all catch my live today with Shanita's World? It appears this Friday on Nubian television." And then she said, "It feels great being in the business of pulling families together and not apart and not tearing them apart." So I think she meant putting families together, not tearing them apart. And then she said, "Amen." So y'all can let me know what y'all think in the comments. But yeah, I think that landed on somebody's head. Okay, somebody felt that, and not to mention the fact that just last night, Carlos King was over there on Dr. Heavenly's channel, and he was basically saying, "Listen, you guys," referring to, I guess, the Millimeter fan base or Melody's fan base. Maybe not everybody called themselves a Millimeter, but they still feel the same. He said, "Listen, you guys are over here tearing down people's businesses. You're making phone calls to pull people off their, I guess, out the sponsorships and things like that." He really was going in and saying, "I know that no one on, my group would do that." Dr. Heavenly was like, "Well, we're about business over here, so nobody on my side would do it either." So he was firmly planting blame on somebody. And y'all can let me know what y'all think. But Melody was like, "Since we seem to be the topic of everyone's conversation," she's letting people know the Millimeters will get their own documentary 3-part series on the Nubian network. And y'all can let me know what y'all think about that. Okay, let's move on to the next story, child. Let's talk about this one right here. P. Diddy. Look, Sean Combs fires back at the R lawsuit, calling it fictional and unconstitutional, for Pete's sake. Now, when everything went down with With Cassie, his ex-girlfriend, we know that a lot of money was paid out. People are saying that it was probably well over $30 million that was received. It took Diddy a while to come out, or for his lawyers to come out, because he still really hasn't said anything publicly. But his lawyers came out and said just because it was a payment doesn't mean that he's, admitting to any guilt, right? That he hasn't done anything. Well, this is what he's saying about the most recent one. And this is the young lady who was in Detroit. I believe she was in high school or junior high. She was taken from Detroit to New York on a private plane by, I believe, she's alleging his CEO at the time, and his name is Harv Pierre, okay, or Harvey Pierre. So this is what they are saying. Sean Combs' attorney is saying. He is saying that attorney for Combs tells a federal court Tuesday that the event simply did not happen. He never participated in, witnessed, or is presently aware of any misconduct or other act, right, relating to the plaintiff or any circumstances whatsoever. Now, previously, I also want to say Sean Combs did ask for the young lady's identity to be revealed. He said that she is a prominent person, that people know her in the public eye, and he wanted her identity revealed. She is still going under Jane Doe right now. But now this is what's coming out. And then check this out. The lawyers for Combs also say that the case violates the so-called doctrine of unclean hands, meaning that the accuser filed the lawsuit in bad faith. In making the argument, they said that the lawsuit alleges an entirely fictional account that never occurred. Combs' attorneys also argued that the photos cited by the accuser in her complaint could be fake, disputing the context of genuineness and or accuracy of the images, you guys. So that is a lot. That is a lot. Basically saying that those pictures that floated all the way around the internet of her standing in Bad Boy Studios, there was a blur over the face, but standing in Bad Boy Studios, sitting in P. Diddy's lap, kind of like making a pose over a desk. They're saying that those images could be fake. They're disputing its genuineness and or accuracy, and the context of the images, saying if it was her standing there, doesn't mean anything was going on. So y'all can let me know how y'all feel about that in the comments too. We're keeping an eye on P. Diddy right now. There's a lot of stuff going on. And this is, I think there's still 2 other court cases out there with his name on it outside of this one with the young lady who said she was taken across state lines, okay? Let's move into this next story, y'all. Let's talk about Wendy Williams. Wendy Williams is right now hospitalized due to some cognitive issues that she was having. They first hospitalized her back in 2023, I think in April sometime, and she has been hospitalized yet again. Now, cognitive relates to the brain, and it means that she could have problems like thinking, reasoning, remembering, imagining, learning, all of it. So she is right now in a hospital, undisclosed to even her family. Only the court-appointed guardian knows where she is at the moment. And we're going to see some of this in the documentary that's going to play on Lifetime. Wendy Williams is the executive producer for this documentary. So while she was in better health, it looks like she was able to participate in that. So I'm actually looking forward to that. You guys can let me know what y'all think in the comments. But, I wish her well. Now let's move on to Dr. Contessa, because when I tell you that she has been scammed out of her bank card or a credit card. Her scam actually sounds very similar to the one I reported about Andy Cohen, maybe a month or 2 back, where he said that he was taken for a lot of money out of his bank accounts. They actually got a hold of his bank account and they did a wire transfer for damn near everything. He said, I am so embarrassed. I'm so ashamed. But I thought it was important to let you guys hear it here because a lot of people aren't aware of how, smart these scammers are. They're really sneaky and conniving, and they're light years ahead of us when it comes to some of this stuff. But check out what she had to say about how she got scammed out of a credit card twice. She said actually maybe 3 times. So check this out.
Quite possible most of y'all are smarter than me, but for those who aren't as hip to what scammers are doing, be aware. Let me tell you what happened to me because I got scammed twice. So first things first, got an alert from USAA that my credit card had been used in California. So they cut the card off and they said they're going to send me a new card. Okay. That was pseudo scam number 1, but we're all used to that. The second part is the part that's crazy. Like, what happened was then I started getting calls from USAA's fraud protection team.
Okay, that's exactly what Andy said. So he said he's on the phone. He got the phone call from the fraud protection team. And then he's sitting there giving them more information. They're like, oh, did you get the text? Now you need to give us the code. Did they send you the code? It's the exact same scam. So this clearly has worked before with a lot of people with considerable wealth. So it's very easy for it to happen to, somebody else, right? So check it out.
That does exist, but what I'm telling you should not be happening. The person was calling me saying, I just want to make sure you get re-enrolled in fraud protection. And so we're calling to first verify, did you get your new card? Because we sent you a new card. Of course, I know I got scammed, so I know a new card is coming. So I'm answering the questions. Yes, I did not get the new card yet. I'm Contessa. This is my address, whatever. The number on my caller ID is saying the same number as USAA. So I am thinking I'm talking to USAA. Yeah. The scam was the bad guys spoofed my bank. So when they were talking to me, what actually was happening was they were also on the other line. Because, they'll put you on hold. They'll ask you a question. They'll put you on hold. Even use goddamn on same like music. Put me on hold. They were on the phone with USAA. What they were doing was diverting my credit card to a new address. In order to do that, though, they needed those computer generated codes that comes to my phone. So when they're asking me, hey, because again, I'm thinking I'm talking to USAA, I'm giving them the code. Scam. So yes, my new credit card got sent to someone else's address. The crazy thing, I thought I was talking to USAA because, again, that's normal, right? They ask you the codes. No, this is where my mind was wrong. Apparently, USAA told me when you called them, they asked you for codes. When you call in, because they can't verify that who they're talking to is their client.
So that's true. Especially if you have a different phone, because they're looking for those little bots read your phone number and all that stuff when you're going in. And she's going to tell you basically that you don't want, if they were to call you, they would not have asked for codes. I don't know if that's true though. I don't know if that's true, but that's what they're saying.
But when they call you, they don't ask you for anything because they called you. So be very careful, because I was just thinking about all the stuff that normally happens when I talk to the bank. The codes are being generated on my phone, but I was getting scammed. So I got scammed not once, but actually maybe 2 or 3 times.
2 or 3 times, baby. Anyway, y'all can let me know what y'all think about that. I just want to keep people safe because we are living in some different times, okay? But question everything, okay? Speaking of questioning everything, let's talk about Risa Tisa, child. This is on everyone's radar. If you guys do not have a TikTok account, get one and then look up Risa Tisa. And the series is called Who the F Did I Marry? Okay, like I said, there really is 50 or 60 parts. I'm all the way up to the 11th part. And I think that I stopped when she was talking about the cars. And she said that her ex-husband, she realized in dating him and having a baby by him in, having an engagement ring on her finger, expecting to marry him, like looking for homes, looking for cars. She said she realized that he liked to build you up, send you on this, fantasy island, type of ordeal. He had this woman thinking that he was going to buy her this $1 million house. Okay. He was like, oh, I was approved for a loan up to 750,000 and I have enough money in the bank to meet the rest. So long story short, he took this woman on a ride. At some point, she was aware of it when she was doing those audio diaries. Like, I know this is wrong, but I'm in it, but I have to keep some sort of mental account, because she had made up her mind right then and there from the time she put out that recorder. I'm going to be so far gone that I don't even know if I'm going to remember the details. So something inside of her said, go on ahead and make these audio diaries so that when you come back to look at this, you can see exactly how far gone you are. And she ain't the only one. People do this all the time, whether they are writing it, journaling it, telling it to their friends. But I did take a poll, child. Y'all know I'm good for a poll. I wanted to see what y'all thought about Risa Tisa. And right now, the question was, based on what you heard of Risa Tisa's 50-part TikTok series, does she deserve grace? Does she deserve grace? 62% of you said yes. She wanted a family and wealth just like everybody else. Y'all know we are conditioned to want a family, to want children, to want a husband that is going to take care of the household, pay all the bills. We're conditioned to want those things. Okay. But listen, we're going to keep an eye on this and what's going on. Right now, Risa Tisa's ex is, he did hashtag Netflix in a video that he did, but he's also making threats to file a defamation suit against her. So we'll have to see what comes up next. But y'all can let me know what y'all think about all of this juicy detail in the comment section. Okay. If you're not a subscriber, become one. Also, guys, make sure y'all hit that like and subscribe. Also, hit your notification bell. Okay. Share the video. Y'all know the drill. Share the video. That's how others find me, right here on YouTube. And I will talk to you all on the next one. Bye-bye.